Hello guys and welcome back to the Me and My Dad podcast. I am me, he's my dad.
Hello.
Guess what guys? Guess what? It's finally fucking happened. Girls.
What the?
Don't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry, Victoria.
Jesus. Was not expecting that to come out of you so soon. Haven't even warmed up yet. But there will be water. There will be water. Sorry, Victoria. Yes, we finally got a girl on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Victoria Quinn.
Hello.
What do you think of our studio audience?
Oh, here, 10 out of 10.
We don't do things by half on this podcast,
Your woman
Victoria.
there comes every single week.
She does? I think she fancies you.
No, it's definitely not me.
It's fucking 100% not me. Telling you that much. Victoria Quinn is a colleague of mine at the minute. Also an ex-colleague of mine, but we're colleagues again. We're very, very, very happy with that. She does the Big Country Breakfast on Downtown Country, sister station of the station that I be on the odd time, Downtown Radio. Welcome to the Me and My Dad podcast.
Thank you for having me.
How do you feel?
Look, I'm all this. I think this is the most chilled I've ever been on a podcast.
Really?
Well, we basically did a podcast in the kitchen there, sitting chatting for about half an hour before we made it.
That's all. I'm just laughing. You're relaxed with us too. Jesus, what do you... Have you watched it?
We could change that very quickly.
So obviously you're trained. I've said you're trained. You're a radio presenter. You're not going to swear. I never swore in my life until I started doing this podcast.
Aye, right.
It's your fault.
It's not my fault.
You're an animal. It's your fault.
No, your language is actually worse than mine.
No, it's not.
It is.
That's-
You've got that modern day language.
What
I'm quite refined at times.
What do you
know
mean?
To be proper around the lady, you don't. You just all the time, you know.
Victoria, do I act like that?
Well, you know, it's depends if the mic is on or off.
What?
That's what I mean. Yes, absolutely.
Supposed to mean?
We've actually talked about this in the studio, even letting a little bad word slip out, having to be extra cautious.
Do you know what?
Whenever we're on air.
Where Ofcom's concerned, I'm very professional. Luckily in this podcast, there's no Ofcom, so you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But that's what I was going to say. I'm sure Victoria's is here. You're on the radio, and obviously it's high pressure at times, and you're trying to get something in, or you're editing a wee bit and what have you. If something goes wrong, you must, when the news is on or the song's playing, go, for fuck's sake, what did I do?
Do you know what? It's funny because Victoria, you probably find this too. See, when you're in a radio studio, you just don't, do you? You
Speak for yourself. But I think, to call a spade, you are very technically able. So the only times whenever I would have a meltdown, it is to do with technology. When it goes off air or something plays out that shouldn't.
Thank you for saying that. It's so funny how I could be so technically able and you could be so technically disabled when it comes to operating.
I'm 100% on Victoria's side of the wagon here.
What do you mean?
Look, technology today is ridiculous. I keep telling you.
What's ridiculous?
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. Try getting a human being on a phone.
What do you mean?
Try getting a human being on a phone. Ring to complain about something, or ring to even book something. Option 1, when you choose option 1, there are 4 options. Choose option 3. Thank you for choosing option 3. We will now offer you 6 options that may interest you. Nah. But that stage, I got fucking stay somewhere else.
Are you on
like
my
your
side with
heckles are bound to be going up even here and that. We've all been there.
Yeah, we'll have to be fair. I'll give you that one. So Victoria, welcome on. It's lovely to finally have a lady. I'm going to give you the title of a lady on the podcast. Recently married as well.
Yes.
I was at Victoria's wedding and I was so happy to be part of your day to go and celebrate you and lovely Matthew, who wears Snickers, by the way.
Oh,
Then it's
Snickers.
DIY era.
Gary and Glenn will love this.
They will.
Well, they
Victoria's wee turn-ons, a pair of Snickers.
male lingerie, as they're called.
Male launcher.
You're straight in with this podcast.
100%.
You need to give a bit of context on this as to how it came about, though.
So they're thongs. I'm not joking, no, they're not.
Thongs.
They're builders' trousers, aren't
Builders'
they?
trousers. You know with the hammers and all the pockets in them, you put hammers and screwdrivers. And interestingly enough, this young lady beside me, I was listening to the boys the other morning, they were talking about the Snickers, and she goes, "Oh, I love Snickers." And she knew I wasn't talking about what I used to call marathons, you know, the chocolate bar.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Was that right, Victoria?
I'm normally quite prim and proper. It was just when you were explaining it, I let myself go. I was like, oh, yes. But I didn't. Listen, It was when we were doing up our apartment. And
So glad you said our apartment. I was like, Jesus, where's this going? Christ, the honeymoon details.
Matthew, you get about 4 or
Here we
5
go.
pairs, mate. Here we go.
Listen, I didn't know I was a Snickers gal, and then he purchased his first pair. We're doing DIY. Oh, they're lovely.
Did they come in leather?
Well, I wouldn't know. DIY
Minus the arse cheeks at the back.
Just 5 minutes into the podcast.
Matthew coming out to hang a picture. The YMCA. A pair of Snickers.
Where's me thinking? Matthew's a fireman, by the way.
Is it? Oh, John, my good friend of mine's husband's a fireman too. You can't say fireman in this world.
Firefighter, sorry.
Firefighter.
Apologies.
He's a firefighter too. He's a driver of the firefighter's vehicle.
Can I ask you a question? And we'll get back to Matthew in a wee second. You're not getting away with this, Matthew. Can I ask you a question? Is Fireman Sam now Firefighter Sam?
No, they haven't changed the song.
Postman Pat, is he now Postperson Pat?
He probably would need to be.
Jesus.
And he doesn't need to be. But that's the world we live in.
He identifies as a...
Don't go down that road.
Does he identify as a cappuccino or something? Or like,
Go down that
probably.
road.
Anyway.
We'll get bored.
So, from who? From what? We run this world. We run this podcast. Who's going to sack me? No one. No one. Unless you get another co-host or something. You'd be fucked when it comes to editing.
Big Ethel come up that door.
So back to Matthew, Victoria. He's a fireman. When did he join the fire service?
Hey, Joy, it was just after COVID, I think 2021.
Admire that.
I want to say, yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, but he did economics at Queen's. Very quickly realised that an office was not for him. And
Fair
here
play.
he is now. And now he owns Snickers
Wearing
trousers
Snickers.
and everything.
Snickers
With a big hose. Going around.
There he goes. There he goes.
What?
There you are.
Firefighters use hoses.
Why can't you keep it clean? Like that friend I was talking about, there was 3 sons. Johnny comes from a family of 3 boys, and they all wanted to be firefighters. And do you know how they knew that? Because every morning their mother used to shout up, "Who wants an egg for breakfast?" And they go, "Me, ma, me, ma, me, ma."
It's Declan just like...
Now that's better than your hose joke.
Please don't tell
Clean.
me.
That's sooty and sweet.
Did you find that funny?
That's the type of things I can laugh at.
So we'll not rip into Matthew too much. Victoria, radio, right? This is something you've always done. Like you went work experience on City Beat 96.7 and 102.5 FM.
Remember City Babe?
Back in the day. You were there as on work experience.
Yeah.
You were into radio way before I was actually.
Yeah, which really interested me. But didn't you say you were always a bit of a radio nerd though, but you'd never
A
properly...
wee bit, but I never felt like it was an accessible job. I always thought it was like
How
a...
does she look so much younger than you?
What the fuck do you mean?
She was in a way before you.
No. That's,
Fuck me.
I mean...
What soap are you using?
I mean...
It's Jess, Jess.
What age are you, Victoria?
No, you don't ask a lady that. Oh my God.
Hold on, you seem to forget that Victoria and I are
According
really
to you,
good.
she's been in radio a lot longer than you. Fuck me.
We've
She's a
passed,
child.
Victoria, haven't we passed the stage of like being polite to each other? It's just like we're mates now and whatever. You know what I'm like.
I'm really glad you've said that because see at the start you introduced me as a colleague twice. I would have said we were mates, but like,
Absolutely.
so I'm glad we've clarified.
Oh,
No,
Jesus
I'm 28 and you're not that much older than me.
You've been in radio a lot older than me. Longer
She
than me.
has. I
She's
didn't.
4 years younger, 6 years younger than
Will you fucking let me explain? Jesus wept. I get into radio in 2017 is when I properly walked into a studio for the very first time and I decided, I want this to be my job. Always slightly had a hunch to do it, but Victoria was at work experience and all when she was like a fetus.
Oh, you're a wee 16-year-old, were
I
you?
was literally 16, yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and did that wee work experience at City Bay it was a week's work experience in sixth form. And I actually cried when the week finished. And I did not. I was not an emotional teenager at all. I just remember the thought of going back to school and like it was
it's
it's
so
just
shit, like,
it's so fun, isn't it? Especially when
that was
everything's so new.
I mean, come back to school was shit.
Scared
not-
out back there,
No,
bastard.
radio's so fun.
radio's
not
so
school,
fun.
yeah.
School was bollock.
Yeah. So then one of the presenters there had said she did journalism at uni. So that was literally, I chose my degree.
If you don't mind me asking, do you know who it was? Can you remember? No.
Yeah, it was a girl, Emma Fitzpatrick.
Oh,
back in
Emma
the day,
Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I remember her on City Beat.
Yeah.
And cool. She did cool for a while too. Yeah.
Yeah, so she did journalism, so naturally I did journalism and did little.
How did you find uni? Were you like, did you love it, or were you sort of like, why am I doing this?
I think because my degree was really practical, so a lot of it was like out and about with a microphone, having to like interview people, learned how to use a camera, even the way before we started recording and you were clapping your hands, knowing that helps you sync your audio and video. Learned all that, so there's a lot of transferable stuff. So I did find it useful, but you see the amount of people in radio that we know that have done really well, like how many have actually done uni when you think about it?
True.
Yeah.
So true. I never ever done uni, like.
But I
Never done A levels.
But this is the thing though, there's such a push to do it. I think like a lot of people just don't know what they want to do and they go on and do it anyway. Like Matthew always says, he wishes he just hadn't done that economics degree because he's just out.
So
with his
did
big
he
nose.
just decide, right, I want to be a firefighter and get into being a firefighter?
Exactly. Whereas
Brilliant.
he could have had like 4 extra years doing a job that he loved.
He's also a tank of a man too. Beautifully put together. Wonderful body.
I can just imagine
No,
all the
he-
ones,
I
all the
haven't
ones
met
in
him.
his work.
He's
I haven't met him, but
done. Do you know the way there's
sounds
always...
that part.
He's
Do you know the
gonna be
way...
so bullied when all of his work friends like
Do you know the way there's always one punching in a relationship? Like I'd say equal power, no offence.
What?
I'd
we're
say...
friends.
Say that.
No, like
Jesus Christ.
it would sexually confuse me of who I'd be more attracted to, Victoria or Matthew.
He's gonna love it. It's gonna be mates.
only
It'll be like competition.
I'm only messing you. Mate, you're punching massively above your weight. You're punching
I can't
massively.
wait
on
to
each
meet
other.
you, Matthew.
Matthew's a lovely fella, lovely guy. Your wedding was sensational. Really enjoyed it. That starter was...
I'm glad someone got to enjoy it.
Jesus.
I felt like I didn't get a minute on the wedding day.
The starter?
Starter of the...
Oh,
like
what
the
was
whole... Like, obviously the main and the dessert was great. I was nearly full by the dessert. Like imagine filling this. Jesus Christ. But the starter, it was like... Oh, what was it? Like a pork belly?
Pork
Oh
thing,
my
yeah.
God. It was...
I got about 2
Jesus
bites of it and then tried to go to the toilet and then kept getting
All
stopped by
nerves.
people.
Did you try and like poo out for the main? Seeing some room?
Was more actually just trying to get from the first wee of the day. Like, and do you know what the worst is? I didn't even get to the toilet because I kept getting stopped by people. And then they'd served the mains.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it is a busy day, isn't it?
Oh,
Like,
it's such a busy day.
yeah.
You don't see it going in, and then you're trying to make your way around all the tables to see everybody and do all that stuff, and you're just chatting and posing for pictures the whole day, which is just my life. Like, let's face it.
Aye, dead on. But tell us this here, Victoria, did you have the sense to do your speeches before the meal or after the meal? Yeah.
And we had, now things always tend to go a bit awry in terms of timing, but we had sent everyone through like a specific time block. This is how long you get for the speech, because we've all been there before where speech goes on and on.
Yeah.
Did you have any tables placing bets? Like, oh, I reckon he's going to go on for 5 minutes. We do that sometimes.
I don't know.
It's brilliant.
I'm going to have to check now.
No, we didn't do it at our table. But one thing I will say, Victoria's so like her mum,
Is that right?
Josie. Now, we were talking about this actually the
Yes.
other day. I never had the pleasure of meeting your dad, who passed away. When was it?
2018.
2018. Okay, but Victoria is a carbon copy of her mum. Like the way. Oh my God! And Josie is. And shout out Josie. You might watch this. I hope she watches this.
Oh, I'm going to show
Josie's
her
a
this.
babe.
This
You
is
gonna say
neat.
Josie's a babe?
Josie's great. Yes, she is. Sorry,
Brilliant.
Josie. But she is the nicest, and I mean the nicest woman you'll ever meet in your life. Like, she is a sweetheart of a human being. And I mean that. Like, she is just the nicest lady I've ever met.
Oh, that's lovely.
After,
Where's your mum
well,
from?
you are
Where's
too.
Mum's from Kilkeel. Oh, I mean, she's the loveliest person and it doesn't take much to please her, but her week is going to be made. I'm going to let her listen back to this
Oh,
little
do.
clip of
Do.
me and my dad.
Absolutely do.
But yeah, no, me and Mum are so similar. But you are so similar. You see the way you tell stories?
Don't fucking say it. Us too. Yeah. Cut. I'm only joking.
Similar, but I'm thinner.
What's the
Can I ask you an honest question, Victoria? Right? Who's slimmer, me or my dad?
Oh, no, we couldn't
No,
be having that conversation.
Victoria, do you want to borrow my glasses?
It wouldn't be my prescription. So you know,
Come on now, who's slimmer?
You can't ask a girl that.
Why?
Because she's not going to go against her colleague.
I love.
listen, but it's like, who do you like more?
I love how he's being on his best behaviour because there's a girl. He is. No, you are.
We're just
You
warming up.
are
We're
a
just warming up.
smutty man,
We're just warming up.
and you're being so good.
But you did this
Like-
thing. Declan was on his best behaviour with me.
What do you?
When he first met
I
you?
would say, yeah. Like, whenever we first worked together, because we were on different time slots, we didn't know each other that well. You know, we'd have our little chats in the studio when we would bump into each other. I would say it's been probably the last year or so from, like, lots of the shows you'd be doing would be overlapping with mine.
Yeah.
Spend more time together. Oh, he's not in his best behaviour now.
Aye.
This is... So
No.
give us another year. Vicky, and then
Well,
that's...
it must be, I'm going to say 2 years. No, it's just over 2 years. When the results come out, when the A-level results come out in Enniskillen,
Oh, yeah.
that I first met Victoria was driving the van, and this young lady
You
arrived.
can say it like you'll not.
Nah, fuck him. Right, so I was driving the van, and this young lady arrived, and I think I told you after it, very infectious, bubbly, warm. You know, I said to you after, because some of them aren't. Like, but Victoria was very bubbly, very infectious, very warm, and says to me, look, can you keep me right here? And I was going, what do you mean?
You're fucking asking the wrong person.
Oh, but we
What are you
did.
talking
It was a lovely morning, and it was just kids getting the results, and it was all about the kids getting the results.
Yeah.
And this young lady done that. It wasn't that I'm here and I'm from such and such. It was, it's your day. It's the Children's Day.
This is like a wee self-esteem boost as well as a podcast. That's just lovely.
Fuck, give it 5 minutes.
Don't need to meet your mummy. When he's joking, Josie.
Jesus.
But that was a really good day. But
It was,
and
it was.
Like, I'm blind as a bat as well. So from afar, I was like, is that Declan's dad? I wasn't quite sure.
You fucking wouldn't miss him.
That couldn't be his dad. He's a lot thinner.
Is that the truck or is that Decky's dad? Who is that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember meeting me for the first time?
I think I remember being in the studio training with you, which was maybe the very first time.
Behave. Behave.
don't know what he's saying.
I'll get the spray bottle. Behave. Do you remember meeting me for the first time?
See, I feel like within your eyes, there's like a
No,
story behind this.
no, there's not. No. I just want to ask, do you remember what your first impression was? Because I tend to get people wrong all the time. I have a first impression. I'm not saying I thought dick. It was like, because I thought sweetheart, lovely. But I tend to misjudge people the wrong way. Like I would go, oh, such and such a melter. And then you get to know them and you're like, oh my, they're lovely. You know what I mean? I do that. Did you have a certain sort of thought when you met me for the first time?
Yeah,
This is so
like,
self-indulgent, but I love it.
remember the first time properly being in the studio, and you did most of my training. Like, I still have videos on my phone of you explaining the different faders and the buttons, and it's like Declan Wilson's hands pushing the faders up and down, Declan Wilson's voice explaining everything. Genuinely, and I would not often get people wrong. I would say I'd probably be the opposite, but you were really nice. Like, you know the way, like someone's trying to do a radio show and you can feel like an inconvenience. You're asking someone 101 questions, and I have had that before.
Never felt like that with you. But
Well, yeah, you never made me feel that way.
No.
So it's just really genuine. Like,
Oh.
yeah. All right. And then we moved from colleagues to friends, and now here we are.
Well, I'm only joking. No, of course we are. Of course we are. Let's go back a wee bit, Victoria. Right now, this is something I do genuinely want to talk about, because we were talking about your dad. You sadly lost your dad in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
It was very sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was my final year of uni. So I was over in England whenever I got that phone call. So that was actually just a year before I started in radio. And interestingly, when I look back, it was like starting in radio was the biggest high and the most exciting thing ever. Then there was so much going on behind the scenes as well, because it was obviously a really sad time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a time and a half. You know?
Mad. And your dad would be so proud of you now, but for all you've achieved. Like, you've your own breakfast show in Northern Ireland.
And he loved country music.
The only solo female breakfast show in Northern Ireland, may I add, as well, which is a massive achievement.
Brilliant.
Massive achievement. And I remember you telling me when you actually got the gig. Well, you had it a long time before that, but like you obviously were talking in talks with Downtown Country and whatever, and the guys at Cool and all that. I remember it was a party we were at, we'll just say, and Victoria, I was outside having a vape. Don't vape, bad for you. And Victoria went, I need to tell you something. I was like, okay, what? And then you said you got the gig as a breakfast presenter. I could have cried. I was so, oh my God. couldn't have happened to a nicer, more dedicated, more talented as well person.
That's brilliant. Like, if you don't mind me asking, Victoria, what age was your father? Was he obviously a young man?
Yeah, he was 53.
Oh my God.
And he was really like fit and healthy too. Like he
He drove
was a
motorbikes, yeah.
motorbike racer. Like he would have did like the TT in the Northwest and all. He a couple of years before that, I did a course to be a skydiver so he could throw himself out of planes. Like it was just
Was he a real spur of the moment
life.
guy?
He
Just
was.
really.
He
enjoyed life and lived it to the fullest. And I think that's why as well. Like I'd always such a shock. It was a heart attack, just totally unexpected. But like he was someone that always just lived life so to the fullest. And then I always wanted to do radio, so I was like going for it anyway. But you see, when that happened, it just puts it into perspective. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how life is so short, you know. But yeah, we talked in the studio the other day, hadn't we? Off the back of that, then how I'd started therapy to deal with the grief and stuff, and then through therapy, it turned into a conversation about me potentially having ADHD, which I now found out I had, because you were really interested.
I was really
in
interested
this.
because I do think I have ADHD.
And I'll tell you another thing.
No,
It's
Victoria-
highly
Victoria-
Spell it
hereditary.
and I'll tell you.
Jesus Christ. Victoria, you agreed with me, but didn't you? There is traces that I have ADHD, and I think I should get tested. I'm being serious. I'm not. I know what.
I'll test you. No problem. Fucking ADHD.
What? He's laughing. You know not like.
No, I told you before, like I worked in education for a while and then in social services. There is every single person born has a trace of autism or
Here.
whatever you want to, it's in every single person. It's how it develops or how they react to certain things. It's everyone, because there's people that get hung up about a dish being in the right place, and they call that OCD.
OCD,
But
yeah.
it's actually, people's brains are all clicked in different ways, but they do have that wee thing about them. But for you to think you've ADHD,
Honestly, it's
I've
explain.
always found you a lazy bastard.
But
This is what I have to deal with. Like,
see, is where I, like, whenever I see you in action in the studio and we're having 101 conversations at once, and Declan's going to do this on the show, and then he's going to do that, and then he's like, I'm going to do a podcast. Oh, actually, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z show. It's like this hyperactivity.
yeah, it is.
But
I am.
I do know what you're saying, though, about everyone having traces of something.
Yeah.
So I suppose then with me, the going to get the diagnosis, it's like, if life's going well for you and you're maybe a bit hyper, or like you struggle to focus, but life is fine, then that's dead on and people can tick on with things. But for me, by the age of like 26, I was burnt out. Like every conversation or plan that I would have, like, had to go in the diary or the calendar straight away, and I'd forget it. Like, do you remember in my wedding speeches, Matthew talking about me literally getting lost every time I'm coming home from somewhere I don't know? Got lost on my way here today. Like, whenever you was it this morning you were in the studio, I was like, sorry, I can't play this thing out at the same time as like you being there. I can't
No, I get it. Yeah, totally, 100%.
It
Totally.
presents so differently in different people. Faces and names, like every time I meet someone at
I'm so bad with
a work
names.
event. Interesting, yeah. So I suppose it's for different people, there can be traces, but if you can get on with it and function, it's grand. But for me, it was like,
But it's probably Victoria. You like yourself. He is a sort of what do they call that? They say women's better at the men, that they can
Multitask.
multitasking. You're very good at multitasking, right? I'll give you that 100%.
I'll give you that.
Oh no, you are. You're very good at multitasking.
Thank
I've watched you, as Victoria says, you're doing one thing, you have the next thing planned, and you're thinking, right, 20 steps ahead, or 3 steps ahead, or whatever it may be. Somebody like you sound a bit like me. Like, no, it's probably my mate's age. Names, yes, I forget a lot of names, but there's also so many things racing in your brain. You're probably thinking, right, I have to get home. I have to do this. I have to call and see my mummy. Right, I'm on in the morning. I'm doing it, and everything. The brain's trying to process it all at one time. Sometimes you just need to go right. And I write, as you can see, I have a book here. I write me things down because I forget some. Did I mention that, or did I not mention?
It's 1960 for you. Pens and paper.
that's the way to do it, though. Can you retain verbal instructions. Like if I was giving you directions or telling you how to do a thing step by step. This is why I have the videos of you teaching me how to use the radio studio. Because in one ear out the other, I'd then go home and watch all these videos of your hands doing the faders and listen.
Do you know what I found out? And we were talking about this, I think it was earlier today or maybe yesterday or something, how shit I am at maths and how normal that is, because you said you were bad with comprehension and stuff like that. See, I honestly think, right, because see, when I was in school, it was so different. Like there wasn't like an SEN, or there wasn't special need, educational needs and stuff, or classroom assistants or anything like that. I do think, see, if someone taught me maths to the way, like in a podcast or something, or a way that would have interested me, like via video or something, like video demonstrations, I'd have been a fucking genius. No, I would have been really good at maths. It's just, and to prove that, I went back and I did it my way, like Frank said. And I passed my maths when I was, 28 or something, or whatever. But shout out Tom Furley, actually, he did tutor me, to be fair. Tom Furley, I grew up in Lennodown, lovely fella. Absolute gentleman, saved my life with maths.
But that is such an accomplishment. Like, you did not need to go back at 28 and do that. Because life was going well, you were doing fine, established in your career, but that was... Didn't you say something that you wanted to do for you?
It was a mental thing. I wanted to prove to myself, do you know what? You can get this. It's one exam, 2 exams, whatever. And I done it and I passed it. And that was prouder. I was more proud of that.
Oh, I kept where you're coming from there.
Than 100%. I was of getting my first radio show. Like, don't get me wrong, that was a great day, but I always knew it was going to happen if I focused and put the work in, like you knew yourself. But knowing that I finally have this, and you know what? It encouraged so many other kids that were maybe feeling and stuff as well. And it was like, no, you can do it. It might take 40 years, but you can do it.
Well, I was 42 when I...
So you were? You went back to uni?
Went back to college? Uni and done an access to university, which was basically 3 A levels in 1 year. A maths, pure and applied maths, psychology and biology. And you go... And it really frightened me. I'm saying 1 year. It was over about 18 months. But it was tough. It was really tough.
What age were you at that time? 40?
I'm trying to remember. I would have been 40,
mid-40s, like,
yeah. And it was tough. So it was.
Jesus.
But I'm glad I done it. But then when they offered me the university place, I went, I don't really want to go to university. I'm going to go in there for 4 years. For what? To get a degree, to come out and do the work I'm already doing. Because I was then working with young people. And I just went, no, I'll just stay a bit. Just went on ahead and stuck with it. Well, I did, so.
And what made you go back and do those qualifications in the first place?
Because you needed a certain level to practice. In social work, you needed to be at a certain level to practice. Obviously to work with young people and what have you. So I'd have been just... what they would have called a bank worker, coming in and helping, and like an apprentice, basically starting watching somebody doing it and making sure that you were the third set of eyes or the second set of eyes or whatever. So you weren't really decision making. You were watching people making decisions. So I went, right, no, I'll do this to obtain the level that I need. Go ahead, but university for me at that age, it just did not appeal to me.
Did you have that same pride in yourself when you done it? Like, because at that age as well, like, fair play. I'm 100%. Not saying like that was an ancient age. It wasn't, but like to be at that stage of your life where you've done the family and you're maybe starting a new family around that time, maybe was Connor. To do that is mad. Like that's crazy.
But I understand what you were saying about maths, because I remember the girl that taught me. She's a doctor in grammar school now.
She's a genius.
She's a doctor of maths, you know her anyway. But she was sitting me down and talking me through all these maths equations, and I'm going like, right, but what is the point then? Who is ever going to ask me if you put a box in that drawer and the drawer's 12 feet away from me and there's 16 feet that way, and if I go that way, how many times would I need it? And I'm going like, who's ever going to ask me? You just get up and get the box.
This is what I don't get, right? Pythagoras theorem. What the why? Why is that a thing? Who the fuck sat down and went E times X and 7, 1, 4? Fuck off.
But Victoria hit on it. You go to university and you get these box of tools, and then you get a drawer and you put them in the bottom drawer.
That's so true.
All these box of tools go in there, and you maybe dip into 1 or 2 of them in your whole life.
Do you think, Victoria, the best experience is life experience?
100%.
I think so too.
And just doing the thing as well.
Big believer in that.
Even like first radio show, like I did not feel ready. You just have to jump in and do the thing anyway.
Yeah.
You know? And then even as you get older too, do you not find your perspective on life in general just shifts so much? Like
Yep. Yep. Big
Oh,
time.
Jesus, so much. So
Big
much.
time. And it's funny, Victoria, you're talking obviously the death of your fathers. You know, it's so traumatic because it was probably, you know, in one hand, the best time of your life because you were graduating and then something like that hit you. And the way different people deal with it. And I've always found that the Irish or the Northern Irish or whatever, the people of this island, right?
It's okay, she's Catholic.
I don't care. I don't care. What I'm trying to say
in the mic
is,
in my
I'm about to speak about a Bulgarian, Dan, and you know this story. I mean, I've always found...
God rest them. Someone always dies on this podcast. We've never done an episode without you saying dead.
Well, I'm old. I mean, a lot of
it's
people are
true.
knocked about. with
Anyone
me.
Mick brings up has passed away, sadly.
Yeah, but it's how you deal with it. And I was saying to you, obviously your father's so traumatic. I remember we had a ski instructor from first time I ever went skiing.
Sorry, I didn't mean that about your father, by the way. I meant that about Mick's stories. Every
Oh,
one of
no,
his stories, somebody has died.
I'm laughing at like, where's this gonna go?
What?
Where's your story going to go?
Well, the story's going to go, and don't take offence.
Is this, can I ask?
Can we just clarify? Like, listen, dark humor, okay?
Yes.
That's the way to get through life.
Well, this fella...
I didn't think you'd like a dark humour.
You want to spend a day with my family? Our coping mechanism daily.
Oh my God.
telling you.
I wouldn't have known
Well,
that.
this
Brilliant.
fella was a yearhead in a school, a very
Is
good
this
school.
Bingo?
It's our first ski instructor was called Benko.
Bingo.
And Barney McGill, who you know very well, a very, very intelligent man and school teacher. He's retired now. But Benko had taught us skiing for, I'm going to say, 12 years. And 12 years of our life, he'd always been there. He'd travelled over here and like, he used to wake up in Bulgaria and Benko was laying at the bottom of your bed, big ABBA fan, and he just stayed with us.
Like a
when the week we
Bulgarian
were there.
leprechaun
No,
just at
but
the
he
bottom of the
stayed
bed.
with us. Now, here he was no leprechaun. This guy was like a brick shit house. The way he was. But he actually was like a brother to all of us. And we arrived this year. And I'm laughing already because we arrived and Charo and LeBoff met us, who are still friends now, and we'll see them in January. They met us and they says, and I'm going to start talking here like in a Bulgarian, and I don't mean this to any offence, but this is the way this went.
Just do it. Just go.
Mickey! Going, yes, Charo. I want to speak to everyone. And he got us all down, and we all sat there. And he says, now this is how he broke the news. He went, my friends, Binko. And we all went, oh, where is Binko? Where is Binko? And Desi Denver went, Binko, yes, where is he? Dead. That's how we found out. What? Dead. October? Dead. Fall from wall? Dead. And we were going, Jesus Christ. Now there was girl teachers crying, and I was thinking, what? Oh my God, and there was people traumatised, and was sat there. And Barney, who Benko had stayed with in his house and had met his kids and all, Barney was sitting there, and he went, we were all looking at him on her, and Barney went right out of the blue, Charo, he says, what do you do with his skis? Right? Now,
It's me and Declan with the eye contact. Like,
what did he do with the skis? Half the people in the room went. Half the people in the room went. But I was falling about laughing, and Charo got it. That's how much he'd hung about. Was Charo went? Ho, 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 ho. That is why Binko loved yous. Funny fucking people. But he just came straight out with it, and he went right down on. Let's get a drink. And we all sat down and had a drink. Got very, very drunk that night.
Oh.
But that broke the ice. Yeah. That really just took the stinger. Because as I say, people were crying and all. And he just, and you know Barney, like he's just straight in.
Barney, the one that always gets me about Barney is the bath.
That was me.
Oh
Set
my
him up.
God. He set him up a cracker, right? We were in Austria skiing this year, right? And it was the first year we were actually away from Pamparvo for a while. Pamparvo was the best just then. But we went to Austria this year, and long day on the slopes, we come back. We're staying in this big, massive chalet. It was like the Big Brother house. We all
Big
had
condo. It was beautiful.
big condo. It was lovely. We all had different rooms. Buddy the Elf, we called the guy
Buddy
who
the
ran it
elf
because he
owned
was
it.
about
about 8'4".
4, and his wife was like Pop Elf, tiny.
And seriously, guy, this guy
Like,
was
I mean,
a freak.
abnormally
Oh,
huge.
he was, yeah.
Jesus. He'd have a wab like a tow bar. He would. He
Sorry.
absolutely
Sorry.
100%
If I wasn't here,
would.
you'd be wetting yourself.
He fucking would. Of course he
In the
would.
presence of a lady.
Of course he
That's it.
would.
Yes.
Anyway, as you were saying,
Like a baby's arm holding an apple. But Mick came back and he went, fuck, someone's run a bath. Now there was this lady, I'll not mention names, but there was this lady who was really prim proper, you know, absolute. What's the opposite of gentleman? Gentle lady?
Opposite of gentleman.
Do you
What's
say
the
she was a
female
gentle lady?
version
Yes.
Of gentleman. Do you mean?
What do you
The
say?
opposite of gentleman.
She was a-
bastard. The version that you're looking for is she was a proper lady. She was a real
did say
lovely
that.
be called
lady.
on the Me and My Dad podcast.
I did say
anyway.
that.
No,
she
absolutely
definitely
not.
would not be
She was
seen dead in this
a
podcast.
sister in a hospital.
She was
really, really good.
Very posh. Let's just call a spade a spade.
well, I
she
mean-
was BT9 trained, right? So she ran a bath, fucking rose petals in it and all. Like bath
Delightful.
salts,
Those candles.
candles,
She's been dreaming about this all day.
the whole works.
Yes.
She'd been dreaming
Oh,
about
so
this
put so
bath.
much work into it.
Now, Barney's the kind of guy that would walk into a room, very professional man, but when he's in the company of his mates, would just whip his cacks down.
Oh, he should walk in naked, and he's done it many a time.
Yes. So Barney came in.
And he's big ginger. Right? So you can imagine what you're looking at here. Like,
He's like a more stout Barney Rubble from the Flintstones, isn't he? Wee bit.
it's worse than that. It's worse than that.
But Barney comes in, right? And he goes, my legs aching, fucking every second word's fuck.
Aye.
And then he copped Barney was coming in. The woman left the bathroom to go and get a robe in the room, right?
A rope.
Yeah. Oh, proper.
Couldn't come out because there was a couple of women standing this and then a load of fellas and what have you.
So he goes, Barney, come here. And he went, what the fuck? What do you want there? And he went, I'm warning you, don't you nick my bath. Don't you nick my bath. I've run that bath. I've been looking forward to it all day. Don't you dare steal that bath. I know what you're like. And there he was, fucking yeah. Cacks down. Mini Barney was out. And he jumped, and I mean cannonballed into this bath. Whoosh, fucking water everywhere. Half the candles went. And he went, fucking brilliant. Then he closed the door.
He actually, no, he left the door open. He didn't give a monkeys. He left the door open. And I'm in the room facing it. And the woman's starting to come down. About a minute or two later, a woman's coming down the corridor. And Barney's sitting laughing because he thought he stole my bath. And she's coming down the corridor. And she just turned into the bathroom. And this big, ginger-haired, fat woman was sitting in the bath. Now, it was all soap suds because she had all her proper flipping...
Calorie candles and
Oh,
everything. yeah.
absolutely. And she was coming down with a wee glass of wine, you know.
You're the worst type of person.
He is. He rolls a
I'm
snowball.
going to talk about how passionately I feel about baths after this. Anyway, as you were.
But she looked in and she looked at me and Barney went, all right. Because he didn't know it was her
didn't.
bath. And she just turned to me and I says, I'm sorry, he's a bastard. And she went, she looked at me and says, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. And flicked away.
You disgusting man.
disgusting man. Flicked away now.
She's actually doing a live reaction of me. If it was my
Barney's
bath.
going, what the fuck? They're wiping the wine off of it all. He's pissing himself.
And this was on a ski trip as well.
It was,
So her legs are sore.
Oh,
She's had
she
a
was-
long day
Yep.
in the cold.
Damn for this bath.
She's surrounded by yous with your constant, like, switched on banter. She's got her wee candles. She's so excited, comes back with her wine. And someone's in it. Like,
Someone's in it,
no,
yeah.
I'd have that.
And see when her husband came in, God love him, he came in maybe about a half an hour later, but what he got, see those fucking people we were sharing with, but she didn't curse, and he was, and I could
No,
hear
this
it
would
going
be
on.
me.
See those
I could hear it
flipping
going on, and I
people.
going, God help that man, he's getting the round to the kitchen.
Do you know what I laughed at? This was the same year we shared a room, wasn't it?
I don't know, you?
We shared a bed, like a double bed, and I mean it was no bigger than this sofa, and we're not the tiniest of people. We shared a bed, and I was drinking heavily the night before. finger nearly off with a bottle, didn't it?
did.
Done that the night before.
And then you went on Guinness.
Then I went on Victoria. He woke at what time was it?
I don't know what time it was.
He woke up
When
choking.
you're woke out of a sleep by a smell, there's something seriously wrong.
That's not good.
And you're choking. No?
He went. He's like laying there. He snores quite heavily too. He was going, and he went, and I thought he's dying. The smell of what I produced woke him. He was near
terrible.
sick.
It was terrible.
Is
Sure,
he-
I went out and slept in the living room.
So he did. He did.
And did you boke in the bed or did you make it to the toilet?
Was
No.
it Boke?
It was a fart. It was a fart in there.
It was not Boke. I can assure you. I maybe could have stuck it better if it was
What
Boke.
did you say? It was
Sick. I thought he'd let the cows in from the field.
well, here.
It was a deadly fart. Like I nearly shit myself. Like
Well, I
it
was
was
going to
that bad.
say it could be worse. Like, so.
He went out, slept in the living room. The whole place was evacuated. It was horrendous. Mad stories we have with the skiing like that.
So, what's your bath story?
Yes, go.
Listen, it's just a topic that I feel very passionately on.
Bet you have bath bombs and all.
Oh, when I used to do the
I knew it.
late night radio, home, 1:30 in the morning, lush bath bomb, wee bit of bubble bath as well, maybe a bit of oil, light a candle. I'd say to do it. Like, I just feel very passionately.
As you
about
filling
such
it
a
with a
topic.
hose and all.
No, after when I was younger, after nights out, every night out, it would not matter how much I'd had to drink, how tired I was. You get a bath. A
bath?
soothes your body, and
Yeah,
then
de-stress you.
You wake up the next morning, and it feels like the cleaning fairies have been because your makeup's all off. Like you're properly clean. You've got into your sheets, and they're still clean. It's delightful. My mum used to always worry that I'd like drown myself though, because when you've had a few beverages, you probably shouldn't be getting
Oh,
a
I
bath.
you'd fall asleep in the bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother used to say that. No, don't, if you're in the bath too long, just bang the door.
Yeah.
Have you fallen asleep?
Thankfully, I'm still here though, so it was all
I was
fine.
when you woke me.
Jesus wept. I'm going to say something, and it's an unpopular opinion about baths. I would have one maybe once every 4 months, a shower, before you go, you're stinking.
No, I know. And
I find baths, sorry, you're either a bath person, you're not a bath person, is stewing in your own filth.
well, no, you're not really.
Before I get a bath, I would shower. Because I'm a
People do that.
bit of
No.
a freak that way. Like,
You're not.
No, because then you've taken away. You've
I'm only
taken away.
Well, when you get out of the bath,
You're
sorry,
minging.
what I mean is, if you can step out of the bath, like the that rainforest shower.
rainforest.
So you let the bath water out, and then
Rainfall.
rinse, if you've sat in your bath bomb or your bath.
The disgust on my face. No, because then you wash off all your lovely wee oils
your
and your
muscle
bath
soap
bomb
and
and
all
all
that,
the
eh?
wee lovely smell.
See, that's effort.
this is-
Oils and bombs and...
But that's the joy. It's like when you'd make
But you're
potions
drying them off.
when you were a wee child. No, but it's just the whole experience. It's like sitting in.
I'd say to you, growing up in West Belfast in the 60s, 70s, a bath bomb would have meant something different. But
Absolutely.
Mick would have been in the bath, it'd have been evacuated.
I just
Fuck, we're at it
remember
again.
my
Bath bomb was
dad.
a tub of life boy. And soap.
What?
Used to put the soap in. That was been your bath bomb. Because the soap was hard and big, thick, about the size of that phone. Big lump of soap. So they put it in the bath and run the hot water so that the soap would melt, and you're then
Yeah.
sitting in a soapy bath. There wasn't no such a thing as bubble bath and stuff like that. Then, like, you made your own bubble bath.
Were
Very
you- are
liquid.
you-
Very liquid. I shit you not.
Fuck away.
I
Off.
shit you not.
You did not get in like a big fucking
Abs-
Petri
oh.
dish into the bath and soak in
Anybody
fairy
out
liquid.
there of my age, fairy liquid, you would have got a wee drop of fairy liquid, got your warm water. Got your warm water, mixed it all up in a thing, and then
Right,
after your bath.
we're
So
clipping
you
this.
fairy
We're
liquid.
clipping this for socials, right? Has anyone ever had a fairy liquid bath? No.
Anybody of my age would have had a fairy liquid bath.
How are you older than bubble bath?
Am I older than bubble? The first bubble bath I ever heard of was Matey. There you are now.
He was an old fella, lived up the street.
Matey.
Mr. Matey and Mick took a bath.
But would you have like I always remember my dad saying, because they properly grew up in the country, they didn't even have a proper bath. It was, and they would all
Hey,
use
wash
the
in the
same,
river.
the same water.
Iron Man.
No, it was like a tub.
How
Big
long?
tub.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tin bath, like.
Yep.
And I remember my eldest auntie. Now this could be me spreading fake news, but I nearly swear I remember my eldest auntie saying they didn't even have a fridge at a point.
100%.
Like,
Yep.
yeah.
We never had a fridge for when I was really young.
Really?
We have a fridge. Your butter, your milk went in the sink, and water at night, and
Yeah.
you put your milk in the sink. So you did.
I'm learning so much.
Oh, I
Mix older than fridges.
not older than fridges because couldn't afford them.
I'm joking. But it was the same with TVs back then, wasn't it? You had to pay for a TV.
50p. Well, not even 50p. What was it? Half a crown got you 2 weeks TV or whatever it was.
I don't get
And the
old
side
money.
of it.
Do you know when people talk about threepnies and halfpennies and shillings and all that shit? What was a or what did you say there? Halfpenny?
Well, half a crown would be 25p. A crown would have been 50p, you know.
Thank
but
God they brought in
Half a
pounds and
crown.
pence.
But it wouldn't even have been half a crown because that was a lot of money then. Like, you know, it was whatever it was, your electric, you put it in. But you had a slot in the side of your TV. Radio rentals and birds used to hire the TVs out. Nobody owned their TV. They hired it.
Hey, honestly, right? You see, if we were given the choice right now and you could go back to a time where it was like that,
Oh, yeah.
I would love that.
Would you?
Yeah, I think everyone's got odd, including myself, you see, from like phones. And we can't be bored. Do you not remember whenever you'd be away? And like, obviously, yes, we did have like TV and, you know, like those sort of early generations of gaming things and all. But like, people just get bored so easily now. Like,
So they
children
do.
don't know what to do whenever like making their own fun. And I would remember when I'd be away, like you could watch a movie the whole way through, and then just because content is so short form now, like I find myself getting a wee bit restless even watching a movie.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Was that
Whereas-
the ADHD like?
Well, even when I was away, to be fair, normally I'd be like hanging upside down or doing cartwheels or something while it was on, but I'd be in the room and be watching it. You see that door frame? Like I would have been hands and legs out, like climbing up and down it. Actually, it is
Brilliant.
quite wild that I did go so long undiagnosed. to be
Undiagnosed? God.
Do you honestly think I should get tested?
What is it that's made you think? Because there's a lot on
Like for
social media
sanity?
now, like different.
No.
viewpoints.
I'm going to be honest, right? I'm not big into social. I do have social media and I obviously have it for the job that we do. You need to be on it. It's one of those things. Everybody has it, so I'm sort of following a crowd, to be honest. See, if I didn't do the job that I had, I wouldn't have it.
I would agree.
I wouldn't have it. And it's not because I want to be quirky and like, no, I'm against social media. I'm not against it at all. It's the way the world's going. But there's so much shit on it.
It's horrendous.
So much negativity, so much shit as well. And you're just like, oh my God, take a break. You know what I mean?
It's
That's
not
horrendous.
normal to come home. Do you remember when we would have been at primary school or even the early stages of secondary school, and you would go home and you wouldn't know what everyone
No.
else in your class is doing, and that was it until the next
Until
day.
the
Like
next
you had
day,
a
yeah.
bad day at school,
Oh my
you
God.
would switch off, and then that was it. That was your wee safe haven.
Yeah.
You know? Even like, you know, I didn't even have Instagram until I started in radio. And would not really use Facebook. So I literally started properly posting on social media about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've had periods in between where I've came off for a month or two. Honestly, like the month at a time when I've been off, the clarity in my brain.
Yeah,
Because
brilliant.
you do
Mad.
just, and you don't know what people are doing constantly. And you kind of escape like having your like work sort of brain switched on because it is in
Yeah.
media like such a part of it.
Kelly and I have a rule when we go away, and it's leave the phones. Like, don't log off for a week. You know what I mean? Because I see social media as my job in a way. Because when you're, you know this, Victoria, when you're like switched on, you're working, you're posting, you're doing this. But see, when you do go away, like you did for your honeymoon, didn't you?
Oh, and it was delightful.
You were the same. You logged off and just went, I'm going to go live in the moment, enjoy it, take all the pictures and videos when you're over there and do
Yeah.
all that. But you don't need to check into a restaurant and be like,
It
oh,
should
I'm
be
having ravioli.
compulsory.
You know what I mean?
That should be compulsory.
Everyone needs a break.
I even see with 3 young kids or youngish kids. I was net leader, and they were apoplectic because there was no Wi-Fi in the site that we were on.
Apoplectic.
They couldn't, you know, they were going. They couldn't just the Wi-Fi shit. I go, right. There's a big lake there. There's a swimming pool. There's a football pitch.
But are they Gen Z? They're Gen Z, aren't they?
Yes, I would think so then. What's the sort of age?
What's Gen Z?
It's
Blow
like
me away now.
living in the now sort of thing. Like the sort of,
Oh, here they just live. See the phones
Modern.
in their life.
like we're millennials, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Well, no,
on the
I'm not.
cusp.
I might be. No, I am before millennial. What's before millennial?
It's Gen something. Is it Gen X or Gen Z?
Neanderthal. I'm Neanderthal.
Well, I was born. Do you know what? I'm proudly, like you were saying, Victoria, I was one of the last, I was going to say races, one of the last age groups to grow up without phones and internet and all that. And it was brilliant.
Well, what's millennial? Where's that from? Basically
Millennials,
from the
2000s.
2000 onward.
Yeah.
Right? So when did phones come out? In the 90s?
Yeah, but I never really had one.
80s, late 80s, 90s?
But it was, I think, the mobile was grand. It was the
'cause it was
social
fine.
media apps whenever they... And even when I was on honeymoon, like, it was so nice to be off my phone for a full month. But it's nearly like you can feel yourself thinking, oh, I should be taking a photo of this, or I should be documenting this, or this would be such good content. It can switch really easily to go from, oh, I'm having a nice experience and enjoying myself, to like when you're doing a lot of social media, which I have at points in the past, you're doing the things so you have something to post and then you're not enjoying life. And it makes me miserable.
So true.
It's getting the balance.
And it's the thing, Declan, that the one thing that sticks in my brain, and it happened with a couple of kids that I was working with, was the fascination or the whole about this likes.
Yep.
Well, they didn't like it. They didn't.
That means they hate me in kids' terms, you know what I mean?
Nobody, or only 3 people liked it. Nobody likes me.
That's me when I post a radio link and nobody engages. But you can't take it.
You can't. You really can't. Because and this is so wrong, because I remember the first time, and we'll come back to phones in a wee minute because there's a point I want to touch on with that. The first time I remember, and you know what, I'll use myself as an example. I remember judging a radio show one day by how many texts I got. Do you know how many thousand people are listening to you at that moment that don't have the time to sit and send a text? That does
100%.
not at all. Your engagement, text messages or social media or whatever it may be, does not impact on how many people are listening to you at that moment.
No.
So that's why I always, and you're like this as well, Victoria, you do content that people can listen to, but they don't have to engage with. You know what I mean? That's sorry, anyway, went off on a tangent. That's why I need tested.
That
is why I need tested.
And then we need to come back to phones again.
Right,
as well.
so
Because there's lots of different elements of it. So what in particular is making you sort of just want to go and get tested? Like
I just
not
think-
being able to settle, or
many things. I just think I'm a bit hyperactive when it comes to doing things. Like I get really into doing things, and it might be autism more than
well, they're very interlinked
ADHD,
because it's in your.
I am proper, like
divergency.
I'm obsessed. Like I'm a wee nerd.
You are, and I love
No,
that.
I
about
am.
you.
I'm a proper wee nerd. He's gonna laugh.
Right.
I don't think I've ever told him this before.
right.
Have you ever been nerdy about anything? Football, probably. Football, lads.
No,
No.
nerdy's a modern word.
Well,
Yeah, that word never was out when I was,
Geek.
like I grew up in the 60s and 70s.
Geek. Are you-
Nerdy wasn't a word.
what was nerd in the 60s or 70s? Don't answer.
Fucking weirdo.
Fucking right. I'm a fucking
No,
weirdo.
seriously, if you weren't, and it's sad to think, because obviously there was gay people, there was people of different persuasions, there was that, but if you didn't do what everybody else done, you were a fucking weirdo. And now, I'm not saying that was the same for everybody.
As he fucking belly butts
No,
the mic.
but you know what I mean?
What
I'm not saying that was the same for everybody, but if you didn't go along with the norm, then there's fucking something wrong with him.
He's a
As
fucking
I said
weirdo.
to you before, kids then weren't ADHD; they were just cheeky
Well,
bastards.
see,
No, and it's sad.
so sorry,
because-
Victoria.
No, that's the way it was.
It was,
That's-
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's what I'm going to tell you, right? Would you have called me a fucking weirdo back in the day? Because what I'm about to tell you, my ideal night in, you know what I'm going to say, Victoria.
I
do
love
you?
this.
I would sit with a wee glass of wine,
Right?
maybe a wee candle lit as well, wee woodwick candle. Love it. We're coming into the woodwick candle season now.
Well, you're already. My wife's like that.
Right, okay. So I'm just gay, essentially.
No.
But I would watch and study, do you know, like videos about radio, and I would sit and I would watch like radio shows, and I would get really into it and all.
But that's your work. That's research.
But I'm obsessed with my work. Does that
That's
make
like
me?
a hyper fixation.
Yeah.
Like when you were teaching me to
Sounds like a
That's a
sexual
good
thing.
word. That's a good word.
hyper. No, but this is a thing with the ADHD brain for people that are like genuinely it impacts their life versus a wee touch of it. It's like a problem with the distribution of your kind of focus and within your brain. So you could probably, if you had it like set for literal hours on one particular thing. When I was learning to DJ, I sat for like 8 hours, did not lift my head, forgot to eat, like hyper focused on this thing in front of me. But
You're a fucking weirdo.
I find you do that with your glass of
Only
wine.
messing,
and
no,
your wee-
I'm only joking.
But then if it's something like I'm not interested in, I will have to set aside like 2 or 3 hours,
Yeah.
like extra time because my focus keeps slipping. Like I don't know, can you focus on things you're not interested in?
Nope.
Would you be a perfectionist? Would you like the...
I'm a perfectionist, but I mean, like, if it's something that I can't get into my brain, like the way I get lost everywhere I go, no matter how much I tell myself to pay attention, and then it'll be 5 minutes later, and I'll be like, "Whoop!"
Well, that's a different makeups. Like, but people in my wife's family, and there's a wee girl. She's not a doctor, right? And Kelly knows her very well. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't have had to have studied. She wouldn't have put the hours in that another doctor from another family that you know well too, and you've done the wedding recently. One of them had to really work and apply herself to get they're both doing the same job basically, But one had to really apply themselves. The other one it came, right, so natural. And it was just like a gift.
Yeah.
There are some people that are gifted by that. They can look at something for 10 minutes and have a photographic memory. And then if it's me, like I'd be brilliant. If it was me, like I'm just looking at it and looking at it and looking at it. And I'm like you, I have to watch a video, even though I've been doing discos things for years. I've one coming up.
Wick. He does. He's coming out of retirement for one.
Love that.
It's in Fruit Hill. It's in Fruit Hill Bowling Club. It's for the over 65s. It actually fucking is.
Actually, it could be, yeah.
I'm not lying you up. No, it is. Fair play to you.
It's their Halloween disco, and I can't even dress up because I fucking kill any of them. Frighten them. Woo! Oh, Jesus.
And then we'll talk about them on the podcast, no doubt. Jesus. Anyway, getting back to the phones, right? This is what I do. I can't stay on a topic. And it might be the radio, but I'm just like, I'm like a spider diagram of fucking calm down. But back to the phones. That's why Kelly and I made a decision as well to not put Eve on social media. Our child, our daughter.
Yeah.
We just decided, you know what? She's so young. She's a baby. She's our baby. She's nobody else's baby, no offense.
Yeah.
But before she gets introduced now, which is whatever age she is, she can do what she wants. But before show her that world, let her have a wee bit of
100%.
the peaceful world, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Let her be a child.
Yep.
I'm
We want
all
her
for that.
out in the street. No, we're not going to throw her out in the rain and be like, play.
No.
You know what I mean? She obviously is just
Has to be a
iPad and
child.
watches the Wiggles or
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is the new one now. But obviously there's all stuff like that. But we don't want her sitting like this constantly, or we don't want and you may have seen this, Victoria. I certainly have. I'm just going to be honest. I've had people message me being like, what colour is your living room wall? And you're like, why do you want to know that?
This could be a podcast.
You know what I mean?
Topic
Like,
in itself.
you get-
a whole
So it could.
separate episode. Yeah.
You get strange people, and I'm not being
Strange people?
I'm not saying I'm fucking Harry Styles, like, you know what I mean. I'm doing local radio. Wow, big wow.
Like, see that there?
Yeah,
You want to be in there some nights. When I pick that up and there's a message, this fucking, you get it all the time. Anybody know what time the dump opens at?
oh fuck
Right?
off. Good
Or
one.
during the day. Anybody know if Primark's open? I go, fucking ring them.
Ring who rings Primark?
Fucking ring them.
Google
And ask
it,
them
you
their
what?
opening hours. Right, well there you are. Right, used to be ring them.
Hello Primark, are you open?
Why ask your 120 friends or fucking 1,000 friends or whatever on fucking Facebook or Instagram? Because people are picking it up. Or post enjoying my dinner tonight and a picture of fucking two sausages and a bit of mashed potato and some beans. Fuck off. Right? There's children starving. There's people. fucking struggling to put a dinner on the table, and you're putting up your fucking sirloin steak or whatever it may be. I don't get that. I really don't get that. Oh, champagne. Their toes. A picture of their fucking toes in the Mediterranean in front of them. Champers today and fucking such and such.
Where's this anger?
Fuck off.
Where's this aggression suddenly?
No. Belfast City Airport or that other fucking airport.
Oh. Now the leg and bar check-in has to be done. I'm sorry, I do that.
Do you ever get in the community groups on social media when the comments get a bit messy? So like, if someone does ask what time Primark opens, and then the like to yourself is like, did you not Google that?
Fucking ring him. Huh? Here's a thought. I actually done it one time on a friend of mine's post. They put a message in about it was actually Castlewellan Forest Park, right? Anybody know what time Castlewellan Forest Park opens at? And I fucking went on and Googled, see what you done, and took a photo of the opening times of Castlewellan Forest Park and sent it back in their post. Now you can fucking sleep, right?
Did you write that?
I know what. I put the photo up and said, now you can fucking sleep, right? And they came back and said, did I annoy you?
Clearly.
This is a topic you clearly feel very passionate about.
I just don't see the point of it. Like,
Kelly.
What did you do in 1970? Hang your head out the window. Castlewellan!
But this is what I think all the time with me getting lost. Wherever I go, like, what did I do for Google Maps? Because, like, I couldn't even find your house earlier.
But it is useful. It is useful for that there. I'll give it that.
I'm waiting to look at the Victoria socials. Can anyone tell me how to get home from... Sorry, can anyone tell... I'll need to do that
We already
again.
got the Mickey
Hold on.
Mouse.
I need to do that again. I've just made my job fucking harder. I have to bleep out your address now. Oh, sake.
You didn't say the address, did you?
I did 100% say the address. I'll bleep it out. Don't worry.
Because that type of laughter, we could not recreate that.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
know. Like, you see, whenever, like, you were, like, said, on my Facebook and the bangers and mash there. Like, it was just the anger.
Do you
I
hear?
just don't get it.
This will piss you off, right? Do you know what? I hate Christmas. No, I love Christmas, but like
I'd say.
Christmas
I know what
dinners.
you're gonna say.
Christmas dinners, because everyone's Christmas dinner is scabby as fuck, and it looks minging compared to your own.
Well, what's even worse is, and people think about this, seriously, this Christmas, have a think about this.
I know what he's going to say.
You put up photos, and it's lovely that you're having a lovely family morning, but there's a fucking settee, sofa, whatever you want to call it, a room full of toys, absolutely full of toys, and the kids are laughing, and there's this and there, and this video goes up, and you can bet your bottom dollar that some people are sitting looking at that, and they've got a wee metal car for the child, or they've something like that there, or they're maybe even thinking, fuck, what are we eating today? You know, just have a think about that when you put these photos up.
Again, it's like growing up, none of us would have had that.
No, sorry.
We literally went
Just
from
bring it
crying
to-
laughing
I
to
love
crying.
I love Christmas.
No, I know.
I love Christmas. Absolutely love it. It's the best time of the year. The best day of the year is Christmas Eve. Love Christmas Eve because
Love it,
everybody's on a
yeah.
high. And then Christmas Day, yes, I love the kids smiling and I love the laugh. But somewhere, because of where I've worked over the years.
Yeah, of course, you've
there,
seen it.
There are
You've seen
children
it firsthand.
that don't have that. And you go,
Yeah.
raced, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose that helps why we don't put pictures up.
Yep.
But I'm not getting at anybody that does, by the way. I mean,
But then it's
you know,
because you.
but I do get
have
what you're saying.
a public platform as well, though. But,
Yeah.
But I also, and it is like, there's a whole, like genre of people that like create content surrounding their kids and stuff too on social media. It is each person's own decision. But I do just think back to when I would have been whatever age. I'm so glad that the internet wasn't real. I wouldn't want photos or videos of me from I was goodness knows what age.
I never forget what, like, someone ringing me to the studio one time being like, oh, here, I didn't know you lived in such and such. Oh, here, see your lamp. I've got that too. And I was like, no, I don't like
see,
this.
that's
I was like, this is weird. Like,
Creepy.
moving the work for sale.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? No.
That's basic.
Like, I'm all
instinct
about,
stuff, that.
and you know that I'm like this, Victoria. I would share the most personal things on the radio, but family life needs to be family life on
That's-
social media. You know what I mean? Like,
But
I would
that's
go
where
in and
I
be
can
like,
get, yeah.
oh, Eve booked their lasagna at the wall today. So cute. Do that on the radio, but I would never like post about. It needs to be private family life. You know.
No, that's it. That's it. I had a
Still
wee
haven't
nap there,
recovered
sorry
from the
about
wee
that, like.
potatoes and sausages there. Jesus Christ. Oh
You
my
know, I'm
God.
only, I think I'm probably a bit extreme, but you know what I mean.
Is there any more things that annoy you about social media?
There's a whole lot of things that you know. There's a whole lot of things that annoy me, but that's just the world we live in at the minute.
I know. Why have
What
you a
is?
cowboy?
Oh, I've got that for a reason.
Big country breakfast.
You haven't, yes. You
Get it
haven't
on,
had
you
that.
big
Oh,
sexy beast, you.
JR, what way is it going? That way?
Good start.
It is. Yep. Oh, here. Yeah, first. That'd be a good idea.
You're like a fat Woody.
Fat Woody. This is our hut, but we were at Garth Brooks.
Yes.
Do you know Garth Brooks shook hands with me?
Because yes.
Has the news come out about Garth Brooks yet?
What do you mean?
Oh wait. Oh.
He's a bit of a...
Well, maybe cut that out.
At the minute, Garth Brooks apparently...
What?
And we're back in the room.
Apparently so.
Apparently so.
You look so sad in your wee cowboy hat. I think.
Pull my string there. Woody. Oh, see, it's battery now. It was the first ones were pull string. Worth a fortune too. If you still have one. Woody we're talking about. I can't believe it.
I don't know if I believe it.
I
don't want to believe it because
I'm
he's
probably
such a
one
guy.
of the few people living, thank God, that met Garth Brooks
Thanks to me.
and his wife, family, mother and father, her mother and father in Croke Park many years
This
ago.
wasn't thanks to me then.
They were doing a walk around the stadium.
So did you
and
meet
was
him before
working
I brought you to that?
With Yash.
Raging.
Not, he didn't speak to me. They walked past us and I went, "Fuck me, you know."
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
No, he didn't speak to me. Like not because he was ignorant. They were just walking past, and I was 20 feet away.
Can't take him seriously with that hat
A
on.
famous guy. Oh, sorry.
No, keep it on, keep it on.
A famous guy did speak to me one time, and to be a DJ, I didn't even recognise me. He sat down beside me at Witness, we called it, but it was Witness then. Fucking lashed all 3 days, and he sat down beside me, and he says, "Excuse me, mate, would you have a light?" English accent, and I went, "Right." Hold on. I smoked then. Don't ever smoke, but smoked then. And he lit a cigarette. And he says, "Weather's terrible." And I says, "Aye." And this fella come over and says, who was working with me, he went, "Hey, can I get your photograph? Can I get your photograph?" And he says, "Yeah, sure." And he says, "Mick, will you take a photograph?" And it wasn't on a phone. So that's how old it is. We camera out. Boom. Shawnee Bar took a photograph and he went, "Thanks very much. Lovely meeting you. I've watched you all my life." And I'm sitting there going, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And the guy went on talking to me and then got up, "Here, lovely to see you," and walked away. And I says to Johnny Barr went, I can't believe it. And I says, "Who the fuck was that?" And he says, "Paul Weller." I don't have a clue. Because he obviously wasn't dressed for the stage. And
Paul fucking shite Weather.
He had a wee baseball cap and all. Oh, you know, but it was Paul Weller. And he says, "It's Paul Weller from the Jam and Style Council." And I go, "All right." Didn't even recognise him. But I think Paul Weller was delighted.
Here.
The fact he was just sitting talking to someone.
You need to tell Victoria who you
Beyonce.
gave. Yeah. Well, I was going to tease it there, but fucking go straight in. Anyway, go ahead.
No, but don't take offence at this, because I
Sorry.
also said this to my wife. The most beautiful woman I have ever
How would you take offence to that? Like she's
spoken to.
Great.
This is when she was Destiny's Child. We're playing the Point at Dublin, and I used to work for Aiken, and we were in early. Frank McGuire, Yash, myself. We're all setting up the front, and it was our lunchtime and our wee packed lunches, and I'm sitting on the edge of the stage with my ham sandwich. Honest to God, ham sandwich, a wee drink of water, and I'm sitting having this. And these girls walked in, and I know then it was her. I know now it was Kelly Rowland, and so they come walking out, and on the stage, and they're looking round the Point, and I'm sitting eating my sandwich, just looking, and this girl goes in the American accent, "They look great."
Hey, look great. American must you?
You
Fuck's
know,
sake.
Well,
Gives a sandwich.
when she says, they look great. He says, "All right, now, you know," and I wasn't going to say, "Do you want one?" You know, but I go, you know,
Your wee soppy triangle
You
sandwiches.
enjoy now. You enjoy now.
Are you picturing like
Channeling a lunchbox.
thin white bread with
Like the stodgiest Northern Irish.
and the thick
Fuck, we plain,
We fucking nutty crust or something. Yeah,
like not even like a luxurious
no,
one. Like,
plain loaf, cut in a square, big fucking ham sandwich. They look great. Like going, I right there on. And it was fucking Beyonce. And I looked at her and went, Jesus Christ, she hasn't even got her makeup on yet. The cheekbones, her cheekbones were there, and she was young then, obviously, but the cheekbones were up there. Stunning looking girl. And you go, holy shit, and the mates are all, you know what fellas are like, they start going, Jesus Christ, did you see? I said, aye, she's a lovely girl, man. That was Beyonce. She was on stage.
Guarantee you that were not his words.
I was talking about my ham sandwich.
I thought you gave her a sandwich.
No, it didn't give her a sandwich.
I've definitely told this story wrong on the radio. I was like, my dad gave Beyonce a ham sandwich.
I did in my dreams. As well, I give her a ham sandwich as well.
You give her a BLD.
Beautiful girl, but beautiful girl.
Is she the most stunning woman you've ever seen?
100%. 100%.
Sorry, Barbara.
No, I told my wife that.
Let's talk very quickly about, because we're an hour and 10 minutes in, which is absolutely mind-blowingly mad. But let's talk very quickly about celebrity crushes. Then we'll go with you, Victoria, first.
Come back to me. Not because I'm trying to be elusive, but my brain's went blank.
I don't count, by the way.
Oh, obviously, like, listen, front and centre, but obviously we have to remain professional.
She said crush, not slush.
Who do I like? I don't know. Come back to me.
Country artist or something? No.
The wee Snickers trousers, like, just, you know.
Fireman.
What about you? Fireman Sam's, Victoria's.
Celebrity crush?
I know you fancied Kylie Minogue for a while, like.
I did. But I've had a few celebrity crushes. And the most weirdest one of all, now, people would say this, the first celebrity crush I ever had, don't laugh, was Barbara Streisand. Do you even know who she is?
Because you are the wind beneath.
What's that, Barbara Streisand?
Streisand.
Bette Midler.
She knew Barbara Streisand does a cover of it as well.
Barbara Streisand as a nose on her like a fucking cooker hood.
Well, you see, this is what people used to say to me.
Should
Jesus
smell
Christ,
a Sunday dinner on a Wednesday.
She had, yeah.
Barbara Streisand.
She's a female version of, what do you call your man? You know, the
Bob
children and the Jenny Banker.
Oh,
fucking.
I don't know
The tail catcher.
What's his name? Willie Van fucking
Whatever it
Dick
was.
Van Dyke. Aye.
But I thought she was stunning because she brought an album out with Barry Gibb in the 70s, and the two of them collided in this album, and the music was fantastic. And obviously the cover of this album, it's probably on my records.
What was she wearing?
The song Guilty.
Dirty dog.
No, she, in those days, permed hair.
Right.
Was the anything? Your mummy had permed hair and all the time,
Everyone
right?
did, yeah.
Yeah, it was permed hair, and she just
She looked like Brown May.
probably now looks like a shaggy dog, but that's exactly. And to me, she was stunning. But that was the Hollywood look, you know.
Permed her.
It was, so she was the first one, and then I suppose Kylie Minogue.
Do you know who I really fancy? Anna Kendrick. I think she's stunning.
As in, what
Pitch
is-
Perfect.
I listened to her audiobook. It's called Scrappy Little Nobody, and it was very good. And that's because she's like 5 foot nothing. That's why it's called that. So there's your useless information for the day.
Is
I
she
do.
She's so short, yeah.
I think there's something quite hot about her. Older woman, Carol Vorderman.
Oh, I know that.
Oh, I know that. For
No,
fuck's
no,
sake.
hold on.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on a wee minute. It's not just because she has a big set of Bristol cities. Let's be honest. There's something.
It's because she can count.
She can make up for the both of you.
She can do your tax returns.
Do you know the other day we were talking about when Declan and Kelly moved in together? And it was 2019. I was like, all right, so good. While then Declan was like, yeah, what, like 7 or 8 years ago?
I know.
Outed. Fucking outed.
It's shocking
No,
sometimes.
but it's fucking easy maths I struggle with because I was like 2017, 18.
But I mean that in the most
19.
wholesome way.
No, I know. I was sitting at my fingers right now and I was going 6, 7, 8, no, 6 years.
17
6
to
years.
27 is 10 years. That's just work everything out in 10 years and then count back.
Oh, fuck that. No, it's too.
Take 3
No,
from
see,
10.
no, my
Listen.
mind. No, my mind's going like, ah.
You've got your maths GCSE. You have that piece of paper.
Anyway,
It's locked the fucking drawer.
Carol Vorderman slid into my DMs.
That's you.
Yep.
No, that is a pub story if I've ever heard
No,
one.
she did. Do you believe me?
Did she message you?
Yeah.
Did she? What'd she say?
No, I did provoke the message. I put up my story. I put up a question box on Instagram one day. I like to do this every so often, asking my legions of fans and followers that to ask me a question. And one came in, who is your adult crush? It was like old age crush. It was mildly offensive, actually. And I said, Carol Vorderman. And I tagged
She
her.
wouldn't even be old age, would she? What age is she?
60s.
Is she?
Yeah, late 60s.
All right. Wouldn't have thought that.
But
And
here,
did you tagged her? And did she
tagged her thinking she'll not fucking see this. She'll be too busy fucking getting consonants and vowels and all
counting
that.
that?
Awful. She seen it and come back with a winky tongue face.
Oh,
She went,
I hear that. Yep, I
Right.
have heard that she's a bit of a.
a winky tongue face. And I
That's-
went, oof.
quite flirty.
So I messaged
Like
back.
slur link in there, yeah.
But I messaged back going, LOL. No, listen, I said, LOL. Meant it in an endearing way. Didn't mean to say you're old, lol. You've aged so well. Emoji and all. Like, I'm full on married, like, and you know what I mean? And then she went, LOL, you bad boy. And
Are you joking?
no! It's only my phone's recording. I would show you. But do you know what? I'll put it up on the
bad boy.
thing after. Post production, I'll stick it up.
I bet you screenshotted straight away.
I did. Okay,
I was
right.
a bit of a conundrum.
No one would believe me. So I was like, the dirty. I'll have a D, please, Carol.
There's many's an answer to that one. So there is.
I hear.
Are you
And here,
actually having cheeky?
the funny thing is, it'd be done by the time the countdown clock finished.
I forget it.
30 seconds.
Well,
She's
what do you call a girl that took over from her?
great too.
Rachel Riley.
Rachel Riley,
Rachel
she's
Riley.
not bad. Like,
I have to say, very, very attractive girl.
has this gone too laddie? Has it, Victoria? Is this too laddie?
Her politics.
Let's honestly use work away, like.
No, you
Here.
we still have to find
I
your
would
male
defend
crush.
it your male crush.
Yeah, like, so I did recall then, as we were discussing there. Do you know the 1975? The
Matt
band-
Healy?
The band.
Matty Healy. Yes.
Do you fancy him?
So
He eats raw meat and all on stage, and
this is
he's a bit of a-
this is a conversation. He's not actually objectively that good looking, but it's like a vibe. Like,
Oh, right, he gives off that, yeah.
And everyone, all my friends used to be like, why? Like, no, he's not even nice looking. And then Taylor Swift's most recent album, The Tortured Poets
Sure,
Department.
she went with him.
Pardon? She did. It's like a 30-song album about him. And I'm like, right, well, I saw it first, and then Taylor Swift obviously saw something that she was able to write like 30 songs about it.
I'm gonna
So-
say something about
a
Taylor
good
Swift.
way or
You're
a
not
bad
gonna
way?
be.
Oh, and a bad. He was a bad boy now. Never mind.
Taylor's had a lot of boyfriends.
She has, but then, so what age is she? Like
Swiftie?
mid-30s.
Swifty's been
So
with-
say
Good.
someone that hasn't like settled down by that age, and if you've just been dating the whole way throughout your 20s, most people will have been out with that amount of people. And
She's
loads
had-
of them she hasn't even put a label on, but she's photographed
She's
with
had
them.
more rods in a fishing tackle shop. Like,
Well, listen, I'll not be laughing and indulging this Taylor Swift slander in the Me and My Dad podcast. It's the only time you're not going to get a laugh out of me.
Taylor
Oh,
Swift
here,
fan,
and if
aren't you?
this
more hands upper than Sooty.
if this goes
Oh,
on
dear.
TikTok, this isolating.
No, it
clip,
won't. Don't worry,
and
it
the
won't. No,
hate
because
that you would
I
get.
do have massive respect for Taylor Swift. I have said this before. She is undeniably, and you know what she done? And more recently with the hurricane in Florida and stuff, Milton, she donated $5 million to the people who were directly affected by the hurricane. She's such a generous woman, like she really is. The food banks, when she played the UK and Ireland, fed so many million
Your
people.
son is like the king of like bringing things back, whatever he likes.
Isn't it?
Like, Taylor Swift, oh, but the hurricanes and
wow.
the
But
generosity.
No, listen, I'm doing full circle here. Overrated
Oh,
AF.
bastard.
Overrated as fuck.
No,
It is
this
overrated.
could be a podcast episode on its own. I don't think so, because everyone's jumped on the Taylor Swift bandwagon now. But like,
I
she
haven't.
Has well,
I never did.
Listen, not you, but everyone else. Probably not you either. But like,
Oh.
I have no attention span. She has held my attention since like 2009. Like, actively.
Taylor
What?
Swift?
Can just
What?
listen to her music.
What
on
is
a
it?
loop.
What is it?
It's the storytelling. Like, so she started as a country artist.
Well,
So
you see,
it's-
a person I work with, a girl I work with, has said that. Have you listened to her albums? Every song tells a story.
So I think she still does country music in terms of lyrics. Like, oh, she has a 10-minute song called All Too Well. And full story time, but it sounds quite poppy.
10 minutes,
and,
that's longer than half a relationship.
and it the fact I started responding before I realised you were slacking her again. Anyway, it was the longest number one ever since American Pie.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Don McLean, American Pie. Jesus. See,
And what
I
about
know my
Oasis?
country.
What about Oasis?
Shy.
Oasis. Would you have the same sort of passion for Oasis?
I think Oasis are very good, but like if you put me in a pop quiz, I couldn't beat absolutely anyone. But if you put me in a Taylor Swift pop quiz, I could tell you.
You could beat
Love the
anyone.
stars.
So if I ever get on to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and the questions are on Taylor Swift, you're my phone a friend.
100%.
And if it's Oasis, Yaz would be my phone a friend.
yes.
100%.
Oh, it would.
And if it was Mads,
If it was Oasis,
I'd not
if it
be.
was Liam Gallagher on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I guarantee fucking Noel wouldn't be his phone a friend.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
wouldn't.
No, he definitely.
I'm a bit, there is a whole bit of a friggin' thing going on with this concert, and it's a big pull, and their music was fantastic.
I think the whole thing's a load of shite. To be honest, I don't think the
If it
fell
goes
out.
ahead,
It's all dramatized for the
It's
big
been-
money payout.
well, it's
and
been paid up like a big pay-per-view boxing event. I know. That's the way
those
I'm
things
looking at
piss
it.
me
No,
off
it is.
too. KSI's a boxer. He's a fucking YouTuber.
Yes, and that's what I mean. This has been paid up. Like, if the two brothers make it onto a stage, fantastic. And I wish them both. It'd be great if they were brothers and were friends.
He says
That's not
whoosh,
they are.
by the way. He doesn't say wish.
Whoosh.
My family.
I whoosh them.
Oh, my auntie's whoosh.
Whoosh.
Yes.
Whoosh.com.
Do you not? I would love to see them back as brothers and performing what have you. But I think it's obviously a big money draw. It's a Sky pay-per-view boxing event. Only it's Oasis.
Do you know what? I'm being harsh saying I hate them. I've nothing for them and I've nothing against them, really. I'm
No.
just sort of like,
Some
well,
of-
no,
some of
actually,
the
no,
music's
no.
brilliant.
They could be arrogant bastards.
Well, they can.
Liam can.
But sure, there's a lot of people can be.
You know, I'm
arrogant.
hard like not mine, rock and roll in it. Yeah. Come to West Belfast, get your knees done.
No, he actually.
Not by me.
What do you call the band from West Belfast? The
Kneecap?
Kneecapper. He went to their concert.
Because he knows he wouldn't fuck with them.
No, he went to their concert and has actually promoted them. Mm-hmm. Oh, he has. He
Okay.
was very impressed with their lyrics.
You're all right
Do you
then, Liam.
enjoy their music? Is it just
Whose?
the Oasis?
Do you know what? I'm one of those ones I just like the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't
well-
I wouldn't listen to their B side and be like, oh my god.
Why did you have to do that?
What?
Why did you? It's Oasis you're talking about. Seriously?
I know, but
Hey, why did you have to do that? That's about Frank Gallagher. Never mind Liam Gallagher.
shameless.
Fuck's sake.
Nick, you're on fire. Like you're doing really
it
well.
is. Seriously.
He's full of banter today. And I'm there
I'm
for
still
it.
not over the sausage and mash from earlier.
Sausage and mash. Jesus Christ. Victoria.
Right.
I'm
Specialist.
sorry about this. Victoria's mummy. I've even forgot her name. It's
Josie's well
Josie.
really tuned out
Josie.
by this stage. Like,
Josie's
don't
Now,
worry.
good.
Josie will be showing clips. Right?
Just
if you're
the
going to
nice
show
ones.
Josie a clip, Josie. All right.
We're just having tea and having lovely conversation, Josie.
Daughter's great. Josie.
Not in that way. But like, yes, in that way, but not in a pervy way.
No, not in the water.
Water. More water. Do you know what he means when he says that, by the way? More,
When he says what?
More water.
Water?
Water. More water.
You obviously haven't seen that.
Father Ted?
Father
No.
Ted.
No.
see?
Just explain it now.
Have you ever watched Father Ted?
Just random clips.
There's a very pervy priest called
There's
Father. Father Jack, and he's judging
Not
the
the old one that's not now. You've seen the random. He sits and he's
Fick,
just
drink,
random
girls.
girls, drink, girls. Well, he's judging a
Wet t-shirt competition.
in a fucking secondary school. Mind you, this is how
Dressed as a priest.
dressed as a priest. Well, it wasn't even. It was they were fucking spraying water over the kids. And
No, he was the judge of the wet t-shirt
It wasn't
competition.
a wet
It
t-shirt
fucking
competition.
was.
It was an obstacle race.
Do not, it
Look
was
at
an
it.
obstacle race. Do not challenge me on
wasn't
Father
that
Ted.
bad.
It was a wet t-shirt competition. Google it right now. It was a wet t-shirt. Your flashlight's on your phone. Tragic.
I think it was a.
It was a
an
wet
obstacle
t-shirt
thing.
competition, and he had
And
a
this
wee.
was a water part of it, and because he was standing.
I'm putting your
beside
mic down.
the
You're
man.
talking over me.
Because it was young girls on by like more water. You know, so he did.
It was a wet t-shirt competition, and he had a wee gramophone, and he went more water.
See, I'm
That was it.
interested. I just thought that was a wee phrase you'd made up yourself. Do you know the way I said
Sick.
do you know
Oh dear.
When Declan comes into the studio and we're having a gossip, I'll be like, well, any spicy tea? Like, I've made that up. Like,
Was that is that an original?
yeah, so yeah, people will say like tea, is there any gossip? But I added the spicy on because
I've started saying that to people, and they're like,
So if my friends and the spicy, like people say, is there any tea? But like when it's spicy tea, that means it's really good. Like I created that just then. So I just thought the no water was
patent that.
like you
Patent
just
that.
did this
Oh
on yourself.
Jesus, no!
and Mick walks about.
Don't you walk
as
up
the-
to anybody and go here? More water. You fucking big bucket throwing ready.
Like I assumed there was like a story behind
That's a Mick
it.
original. More water. So's feck arse drinking girls.
You think I was playing on the fireman thing? Did you?
Jesus bless us. I'd say your husband's estimation's gone down on me. That came out wrong.
On me?
I'd say your husband's thoughts about me, I've gone down in his estimation.
Oh, definitely
That's what
not.
I'm trying to say.
He would,
Well, he
he would
knows
be
we're joking.
he would be an enjoyer of this conversation, just the banter in general.
Good man, Matthew.
Our religion.
I would say the
most things are-
firefighters, they
Oh.
need to, from what they see
There's
in their
never a
life.
fire in my house. You go fuck him.
No, but from what they see in their life and the traumatic things they have to deal with, humour has to be a big part of their life.
That's really
too.
interesting. You said that because that's what he would say. Yeah, that's like.
Do you know what he got her for? Well, it was him or his family, was it, for the wedding? They came out mid-speech and handed her a Rangers top.
Oh,
With,
I forgot about
was it Cahill? Because that's your
Yeah,
married
that's
name?
my married name,
Cahill,
yeah.
69 on the back.
And then we had a barbecue at his
Cahill,
house
69.
a few days later, and his mum was like, and what was that? Like, yeah.
Did your mum know what that
I'm
meant?
lost.
No, his mum was
His
asking,
mum didn't
yeah.
know what it meant. Oh.
So it was lovely.
Oh no, I'm not lost now.
Do you know what a 69 is?
Look, a penny is dropped. I thought it was a monumental thing about Rangers winning something in that year.
Yeah, but to be honest, that probably was what it was. Yeah, wild times.
No.
Just full blown 69.
Us with
I think that's where.
when the Rangers top came out, like we yo around the room.
Rane,
I was
who is a
gonna say.
well-known Protestant, went, yeah! And I went, fuck, you fucking Rangers.
Isn't it funny people get like that? Oh,
No, not at all. No, we were joking. We were winding
But
each
this is
other up.
what
Like,
I loved, like out of my whole wet, like they knew they could do that because like
Exactly,
everyone would
no
have it, like,
one would take
"Tea,
offence
hate
at all,
that,"
like, yeah, exactly.
but
Brilliant.
they're-
You have to have that. You
oh,
have to have
absolutely.
that humour.
I'm very lucky in that sense. We're all my friend group. We just laugh and joke about things. Like, we're never, like, not sectarian. We don't care. We have a laugh.
I love that now, and I love looking at the young people now. And as you know, the wee football team involved in, it's kids from everywhere, and they
Class.
don't care. It's just fantastic. That's
Yeah.
the way life should be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is.
100%.
Mick throws a bath bomb. I'm not joking. Well, listen, we may wrap this up. We're an hour and a half in. Victoria, we could talk to you forever.
I
Like,
could talk to you. This has been
You're such a
great.
sweetheart. One thing I will say is, well done you.
Yep.
No, and I do mean that genuinely. I'm not being funny. I'm not being smart. I'm not being clever. I'm not going to come off with a funny remark as I usually do. I'm just going to say, well done you. I've watched you from the day you've come in to radio. I've watched you take it up like that. You're so resilient with all the stuff that you've went through. Losing your father, ADHD, whatever, if you want to say that, going through something. You've got your dream job. You've applied yourself. You've worked. And you're just a wonderful human. And I have to say thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for that, and thank you for having me. And
No
like,
worries.
honestly, I've never been as chilled on a podcast, and you are both just the loveliest people. Like,
Ugh,
honestly,
stop it.
We know.
Stop
so
it.
similar.
Water,
Genuinely, because lots of people think nice things, but maybe don't say them out loud. So thank you. That's really, really lovely.
Well, we got you a present.
Is it another Rangers?
No, we got you fuck off. I'm only joking. We actually didn't get you anything, but you can have a cup of tea after we finish.
Yes.
We're being so
filming.
sincere.
Yeah,
it's been
we haven't.
lovely to see you again, and it's been really, really enjoyable. And
Do you want to do the big reveal of our new plaque behind the...
No, we're doing that. We're not doing that.
Absolutely
not.
not.
Doing that. No, when Declan said you were coming, I was like, oh, that's great. A bit of a laugh. And I said, just Declan, I wouldn't know a lot about country music. And he said, no, we're not be talking about country music. We're going to talk. We'll have a just sit down and we'll let the conversation flow and see what
Yeah,
happens.
and I knew it wouldn't be an issue.
And there you are. What I don't know what, maybe an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, or 1 hour 28 minutes, and 1 hour 29
And
minutes.
it doesn't feel like we've sat here for that.
No,
No.
it doesn't feel like we were recording something.
No. It was lovely.
Yeah.
No, it was great. Always good. Hopefully you enjoyed it, by the way, as well. Remember, you can watch back if you missed any of the previous episodes. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on Apple Podcasts. Last time I kept saying there's wee stars below, give us 5 stars. There's no stars, there's thumbs. So ignore me in the previous episodes, dickhead. Give us a wee thumb, write us a wee comment underneath as well. Let us know you're watching, share with your mates, share with everybody, share it around the world on
Social media.
because it does have its ups.
Fucking no bangers and mash percent, please. Just please.
Send Mick a picture of your calves with a bottle of wine in front of it. He will fucking love that. Thank you so much for watching. Victoria, thank you so much for coming in. A wee round of applause for Victoria. I got it right. I didn't play a fart. Yay! Studio audience, thank you as well. No fucking refund. All right. All the best.